From the top? Yep, good.
But instead of just looking at the dark side of tax day and the IRS backlog, I want to look for something positive today. The sun is out, so let's talk about the tax dollars that clawed back to Jersey from Washington and away from the Moocher states to help take a major financial weight off of our state, county, and local budgets and do everything we can to lower property taxes on our families here in northern New Jersey. Federal tax dollars that were clawing back to Jersey from Washington not only help keep our property taxes down, but also improve our roads and bridges, our water infrastructure, our transit, medical services, and allow us to invest and help our veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, and EMTs. In other words, if we're going to get stuck paying taxes, and again, I think we should do everything we can to lower our taxes in communities like Maywood and across the counties. If we're going to get stuck, I want to make sure we do as much as we can claw those dollars back from Washington to Jersey to help us. That's been my commitment, and evidence shows we've delivered. Before I get to the good news, let me recount a few challenges here in Jersey. Surprise to no one that Jersey currently has the highest property taxes in the nation, which is ridiculous and they should come down. To be more precise, recent findings from Adam, a leading provider of real estate records, show that we have every right to complain in Jersey. The average single-family home tax of $9,400 in 2021 actually led the nation. That's roughly 10 times the average of $901 in West Virginia, one of the leading Moocher states in the whole country. Not to mention, according to the Tax Foundation's 2022 report, of all 50 states, Jersey currently has some of the highest business taxes in the nation, ranking the highest for corporate income tax. It's totally unacceptable, and we should do everything we can to help our small businesses get taxes down. Because of issues like this, too many Jersey families, millennials, small businesses, and jobs are actually moving out of our state. According to United Van Lines, the Moocher study, New Jersey ranked as the top state in the nation for outbound migration last year, a spot we've held for the prior 4 years as well. So I think we should use today as a wake-up call to the state of Jersey, to our town and to our counties, that it's time to lower taxes for our families. It's very hard to leave the country if we can't keep our people and our jobs here. We need to get our state level taxes down and get innovative businesses to move and stay here. We need to restore the state level tax cuts in our soul, which I talked about helping craft and pass out of the House at the end of last year. It's now time for the Senate to step up and pass that. So again, today is a wake-up call. It's hard to leave the country if we can't keep our people and our jobs here. We need to get our state and local taxes down and our costs down and SALT restored, and that's what I'm focused on. Now for the good news about the tax cuts and relief we've been able to bring by clawing more of our dollars back to Jersey from Washington and the Moocher states, including right here in Maywood. I want to thank again our council for working with us and our first responders. When I first ran for Congress about 6 years ago, I realized that since the state, county, and localities set tax rates, the best thing I could do is pour more dollars back to Jersey. And we can stop leaving these federal grant dollars on the table. So instead of our dollars going to these moochers like Mississippi and Alabama and West Virginia, we kept getting our tax dollars and our profits sent to them. We need to get more of it back here. But you know, like Dad always said, you don't ask, you don't get. The best way to help our law enforcement, and I'm grateful for our first here, make sure they get the equipment, the training they need, and the pay they need, and make sure we did everything possible was to get more grant dollars back. I was sick and tired of us paying retail when we should get our dollars back here. So, as my dad always said, ask. So how do we ask? First, we put a director of return on investment in our office to apply for and fight for all these grant dollars that we're leaving on the table. Now again, working with our mayors and councils and first responders, here's the good news. Our ROI is way up. Our return on investment we've clawed back is up 112% through 2020. And those are federal tax dollars we've got back to the district. Every dollar we get back to the district helps our counties and our localities, our municipalities, actually save dollars. If they get a fire truck paid for, or help pay for law enforcement, or a grant for the roads, that's money they don't have to pay for out of their property taxes, which obviously save our tax dollars and our local taxpayers money. 112% is real resources. And I'll tell you, in just 2020 alone, we actually clawed back $415 for every single North Jersey family. That 112% doesn't include the COVID-19 emergency resources we fought for and brought to the families in the 5th District. So that's a huge, huge difference. The CARES package in 2020 and from the American Rescue Plan also provided critical relief for our communities, for our hospitals, vaccine deployment, relief for our families, small businesses, and of course our counties and towns. Towns were stretched to the max after and during COVID. We know that during the height of COVID, a lot of our communities were really hit hard, both in the revenue they received and, of course, the costs they had. So we helped with that. The bipartisan infrastructure bill, which I helped craft and pass, is going to get key resources for water infrastructure, for our roads, for our bridges, for all the things that will obviously help save our localities and not be hitting our local property tax dollars. That's also key. There are also major federal responder grant programs that we've been working with and clawed back, including the Law Enforcement Support Office Equipment, or LESO, the Assistant for Firefight Grant Program, the Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response, or SAFER Grant Program, and the Community-Oriented Policing Services, known as the COPS Program. All these things are to invest, not defund, which I believe is critical. You want to invest in law enforcement, not defund. In Maywood, right here, between 2017 and 2020, again, I want to thank our council, the borough clawed back more than $500,000 in LESO equipment to reduce the financial burden on the borough's budget and help prevent any added rise in local taxes. Again, I really want to thank them for their excellent work. Let me give you other few real-world examples. A couple months back, when Hurricane Ida devastated so many of our Bergen County communities, a lot of our communities, thankfully, had utilized these LESO programs, and they had high water vehicles to help get rescue people in a critical time. Other towns utilized ambulances from the AFG program and transported and saved lives. The SAFER Grant Program went to help hire and get and recruit firefighters to help them when they were help them in a critical moment. We also got resources back to help our veterans, to make sure they got our small business dollars and key relief. In 2021, I met Chris Tessian, a U.S. Army veteran and small business owner in Hackensack. Chris visited the newly opened Small Business Administration Business Recovery Center in Bergen County and was able to get, thankfully, we helped him, it's a disabled veteran-owned company, get resources back from the Small Business Administration, critical resources to recover after the storm for his small business. The bottom line is, if you ask and fight for it, you can get it. And that's what we've been doing here, working with our communities, with our first responders. And again, it helps our property, lower our property taxes, and helps our families. That's the key, whether that's storm cleanup, generators, trucks, boats for floods, repairs, gears for EMTs. And we've been able to do it not just here in Maywood, but other towns, Belvedere, Hackensack, Oradell, Washington Township, and Warren County, all clawed back resources through the LESO program to help with trailers, generators, trucks, you name it. Westwood, near here, not far, a borough with a little more than 10,000 residents, has clawed back more than $2.5 million under this program. Upper Saddle River, $480,000, and they helped save 24 people submerged in water during Hurricane Ida. Again, this helps our local town budgets, keep them down, help our property taxes down, helps lower taxes for our residents. What more important thing can we celebrate today than doing everything we can to cut taxes and make life more affordable for our families? In 2020 alone, through the LESO program, we clawed back $3.5 million. Compare that to $798,000 total before I was in office. Again, we fought for the dollars and we got them back. We got $4.4 million through the AFG program for firefighter equipment, $2.3 million in 2020 alone. These are critical dollars that help our firefighters and emergency service personnel. We were able to get AFG money in Oradell, Teaneck, Altapan, Paramus, Ramsey, Washington Township, Sussex, and Ringwood. Again, helping all of our communities. We got nearly $1 million in SAFER grant programs alone. Another great example, we got a SAFER grant program in October this past year, $212,000 to help Demarest Fire Department recruit volunteer firefighters. Our law enforcement, again, funding law enforcement, not defunding. The COPS program helped us claw more than $2.77 million back since I took office and helped our police officers better protect themselves. What's the moral of the story? And especially today, if you fight for if you fight to get our tax dollars back here to Jersey instead of the Moocher states, we can lower our taxes, save on our property tax line, and help save our taxpayers money and help our small businesses. That's what this is all about. That's why I'm so happy to be here in Maywood to talk about what we're doing to cut taxes, help our businesses, right? We were able to get New Jersey State Police claw $47 million back. That helps them
like enormously protect ourselves. We were able to get hospitals like Newbridge resources and Bergen and Sussex Community College and help all of our frontline healthcare workers. The bottom line is, when we're looking at what we can do, whether it's water infrastructure or helping our law enforcement or helping Bergen County's Hackensack Transit line and helping with transit infrastructure and transportation, or Ridgewood Water with their water systems, when you add it all up and you make sure that we have full transparency and root out wasteful government spending and claw more dollars back to Jersey, we help our taxpayers. And at the end of the day, for me, it's all about affordability. As we deal with the COVID economy, we want to make sure we make life more affordable. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is what's a great for Jersey issue, what's great for our country, here in the greatest country in the entire world. Let's lower taxes, let's make life more affordable, and that's how we should be recognizing today about how we can do everything we can to cut taxes. God bless you, and God bless our great country. Thank you.